We're getting ever closer to 1,000 subscribers. We need 45 more to make the grade. And because there's so many of you out there, there's always the chance that I'll run into some of you, or some of you will run into me. So please do drop me a message and let me know if you see me out there, because I can't remember 955 names. But in this game, we've got Jonymax667, who is in division with two friends, and I think they're all Spanish, so I should say hola. I'm in the legendary tier Daring, which you all know is one of my favourite boats, and this boat is kitted out with the legendary reload booster. That is going to give me 2% reduction in reload for every 30,000 damage, and also an extra 5% damage for every kill that I get. And hunting destroyers is going to be the start of the game on this one. Now, I have got a Lepanto somewhere out here with me, and I see that smoke screen pop up out there, and I'm like, oh, okay, we've got a Montana. And the fact we've got a smoke screen means there is a destroyer, but that is not the Montana that is in Jonymax's division. So that means that they're on the other side of the map. So, okay, I'm feeling a little bit more confident until I spot the Aegir. Or is it Aegir? I don't know how to pronounce it. Somebody who's German, please tell me. There is a destroyer on the cap, and so I slow right down because I don't want to be in front of all those guns. Now, I know from experience that one place that destroyers like to hide on this map is right on that corner where my torpedo indicator is pointing currently. I also know that the other destroyer is a Z-23 who has sonar. Now, I also have sonar. There we go. I get spotted. And it's not the Aegir, it's that guy there in the destroyer. So the next thing that I'm expecting coming through here is torpedoes, and I'm really hoping that my team can get some shots onto this Aegir, because if he's gone, I'm a little bit more confident about pushing against a battleship and a destroyer, because that's what the little boats do. So we're going to back off the cap, we're going to swing the ship around, we're going to concede this capture point to red team. Now, you may think that you're a rubbish DD player, Tonic, why are you giving up the cap? It's because there is overwhelming force against me, and my survivability is key to winning games. Basically, if you protect the little ships, they can take care of the big ones. But it's good to see that the Aegir here has taken some fire from my team. I'm going to try and pop some shots on them as well. There we go. Let's get these shots out there, keep the pressure on, and we're going to kite away. But the team seem quite focused. But if you look at what's going on the map, we have now lost 2 capture points. The first here, because I've got 3 ships pushing against me, and there's only me to push back. But the rest of the team have kind of gathered up in a clump. They're just north of Bravo Cap. Now, as I said, I know there's a Lepanto here, and one of the tricks that you can do with a destroyer when there are battleships with long range or devastating secondaries, as the Lepantos are, at least until Monday, and we'll get to that in a minute, is that if you can out-detect ships and they are in secondary range, then you don't have to shoot your guns. You can let your teammates' secondaries do all the damage. But we're going to keep this guy spotted as he pushes back. Red team have pushed off this cap, and I'm looking, and as the Aegir disappears, I can see that my perceptive indicator is indicating to me that the closest ship to me is now behind the island. So I am going to push back in towards this capture point, because while they're behind the island, it means that I can sneak in undetected. My sonar has run out, which means I need to be wary of torpedoes from the Z23, and I also need to be wary of the Z23's sonar, but I imagine that he has burned his sonar too, and with the gear out of the picture, that means one less sonar to worry about. But there we go, we get a flick to the left on the indicator, we put one set of torpedoes out there to cover him coming tight around the corner, and we're going to slow down, and there he is, and straight away we're onto the guns, we're waiting for him, we're expecting him. We get a fire with the first salvo, which he damage controls, and we're going to stay on the guns because we've now taken his engine out. We've got another fire on him, and literally it is the end of him. You can see the team putting shots onto him, and this is going to be our first kill of the match. So we break 30,000 damage, which gives us a 2% reduction, and we get a kill, which gives us 5% additional damage. Now look, we've got an Elbing there, so he certainly didn't spawn on this side of the map, so I would love to know why he's not covering the other side and what looks like red team pushing down on the flank. Yes. But we need to take this capture point because the team have pushed forward into Bravo. Red team have had 2 capture points for a while, so if we can turn this one, it's going to bring the cap points advantage back in our favour, because red team were, leading on the caps, and that was going to keep pulling back points towards them, even though they have lost 2 ships. I mean, I know we've got the points lead at the moment, but it wouldn't have stayed that way if we hadn't taken control of some ships and the team pushing into the caps. So I'm just kind of trying to get my shots across the top here at this Montana. It does look like he is sailing down there broadside because he's losing some big chunks of health. And that's shots coming from the guys there at the side of B-cap. But before we can get a kill in, the Lepanto secondaries pick it up. And that is going to be, spoiler alert, the first of 3 kills that he is going to get on secondaries. But I certainly don't mind. Now, one of the things I will say that you've probably noticed already is that this is a very short lobby because somebody obviously has crossplay turned off, and that person is Jonymax, and I did say to him, don't turn crossplay off, because it kind of shafts everybody, because it reduces the amount of ships available, it reduces the gameplay, it reduces the potential for credits earned, although I don't know if that balances out if there's less ships in the game. And there is a Shimakaze hunting, I think it's our Montana, that is all the way at the back of the map there. He's run a heck of a long way, so I don't know what he's doing out there. But we've obviously got a Schlieffen and a Montana plus the Shimakaze there. The Schlieffen secondaries as well, they are absolutely nasty, but they haven't been balanced. Unlike the Lepanto, which, if you've seen the patch notes for the patch that will come up on Monday, they are having their damage reduced by 40%, which I think is by far the biggest reduction in damage that I've ever seen applied to a single ship in one go. We've seen different ships have buffs and nerfs over time to balance them out by a few percent here and there, but a 40% reduction is absolutely huge. Now this is where I'm going to get clever, because I can see Jonymax there in his Schlieffen. I can see that I am the closest target to the destroyer and that I am located, which means that the Shimakaze is also running perceptive. So we put the torpedoes across there to cover. He has turned bow in now, so we're not expecting miracles from there. But what I want to do is to try and draw the Shimakaze to me while maintaining a reasonable distance from the Schlieffen. So there's the Shima. We pop our smoke. There are going to be a few salvos of secondaries come in here, but I'm going to draw that Schlieffen towards our team. We get a torpedo on them and get out of our smoke because we don't want to be a dope in a smoke with a wall of skill coming towards us from a Shima. But this guy is going to play with his throttle, because you'll see from the bow wave that it changes from a big bow wave to a low bow wave, which means he's slowing down. And I'm going to constantly keep adjusting my shot here, because I think he's going to start going backwards. But he's lost his engine and his torpedo launchers now. The fact that his engine is remaining out, which you can see from the sparks coming from his smokestack, means that he isn't able to repair, and that is going to be the end of him. So there we go, using a little bit of the visual cues in the game and the fact that we have got a battleship with very good secondaries to take care of the Shimakaze, and using that extra reload and damage that we've got from the legendary reload mod to do as much as we possibly can. But we didn't take too much damage from that Schlieffen. He's gone. He's off the map. Thank you for the game, Jonymax. It was great to see you. And that leaves the Montana. And so I figure that I'm going to get some guns on him and get him burning too, because he's more interested in the guys that are sat there near B-cap. But he is going to start turning out to bring his guns towards me. So I'm going to hit my smoke screen. And I am going to back up into it and just sit tight, and he is going to turn and start looking for me. I thought I just heard my doorbell, but I'm not sure. But I've only got a few minutes left of the video, so we'll have to finish this first. But here we go. Montana is looking towards me, but he gets absolutely slammed, and there we go. The Lepanto picks up his third close quarters kill, even though he wasn't anywhere near it. So I think some people are going to be looking forwards to that ship getting a bit of a nerf on those secondaries and making their games a bit more survivable. 112k damage with a high caliber, only the 2 kills, but the good stuff is always breaking 3k on the base XP, certainly doing well and finishing top of the board. So GG's to Jonymax667 and his division. It was a pleasure to see you out there, and if you do see me in game, then don't shoot at me, especially if you're on the red team and I'm on blue team. Please don't shoot at me. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let's look forward to the weekend, and let's look forward to the next update. Don't forget, smash the like button. You can subscribe to the channel. You can also become a member now for as little as 99p, or you can leave a tip on the video. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.